guys, how's it going? Just leaving the gym and had a topic that I wanted to discuss, and it's a topic that's discussed quite often. First, before we get into it, I don't know if I've actually formally introduced you to. This is my bike. I know you've seen it in some of my videos already if you're a subscriber, and I do appreciate it, by the way, but her name is Nina. The J's silent. Get it? Anyway, so the topic today is a common topic on YouTube, we'll say, and that is, what is a good beginner bike? So I say it's a common topic because a lot of people vlog about it, but even more people ask about it, and so it's cool. It's good to hear different opinions, and I think the reason it's such a common topic is because people who are just looking to get into the beginner bike, they can't exactly go and test ride a bunch of bikes, so they pretty well have to take people's words for it. You got to do your research, you got to make the decision that's right for you, right? Makes sense? So before I get into that, I'll tell you guys a quick story. So I obviously bought this bike brand new, and last night at about 7, I just gotta let it warm up for a second, at about 7:30 or 8 o'clock p.m. I got a phone call from Kawasaki Canada. It was just like a survey about how happy I was with the bike as well as the dealership. And I told them I'm happy with the dealership, and for the most part I'm happy with the bike, but there's one problem that I have. And they said, hey, what's that MTX 86? What's your problem? And you can't see it right now because it's dark, but right here in the fairings, there's a little gap where the clips don't hold properly. So it's just a minor annoyance. It's not a big deal, but it's enough to make me constantly push in on it. And you can see that in I don't remember which one of my how-to videos anyway. I'm constantly playing with it as I'm talking. So I told the lady, that kind of annoys me, not the end of the world, but, and she's like, well, I'll pass that on to the dealership and they'll see what they can do. And I'm like, yeah, okay, alright, you do that. I didn't really have high hopes. So this was last night. This morning I got a call from the dealership saying, hey, I hear there's a problem with your fairings, bring it in. We'll take pictures, we'll send it in, we'll see what we can do. So I was impressed, like that's pretty crazy turnaround time, right? So I brought it in, they took the pictures, all that stuff, and there she was, the ZX6R 636. So I sat on it, and I fantasized, and I pretended. And I really, right now I'm leaning towards that as number next. Originally I was looking at the 650. I wonder if I can go this way. So originally I was looking at the 650 Ninja, but I don't know, I sat on both this morning, and the 650 seems really cool too. It's a very upright seating position. It would be good for like longer rides and such, but the 636 is just incredible. So I'm not sure which one. The 636 is a lot more expensive, but I don't know. We'll see. We can talk about that later. While I was on the 636, it made me start to think like, this is one hell of a machine, and I have no doubt that I can handle it at this point, but I'm very thankful that I learned on this, right, because they're not, those Supersport bikes, they're not exactly forgiving. I don't think I'm supposed to do this, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it. They're not exactly the most forgiving things, right? So if you're a little too heavy on the throttle or whatever, it's going to throw you right off it. So definitely not something that I would have liked to learn on. And that made me think, like, why do people actually do this to themselves where they try to learn on something like this? It's crazy. So one of my subscribers, I don't know if it was yesterday, a couple days ago, posted to my channel a comment. He's got a friend, his name's Michael Too Hottie, and it's funny because every time I see his name, because he's made a few comments and such, and every time I see his name I think of Scotty Too Hottie, the old wrestler who does the worm. But anyway, so he posted saying that he's got a friend who's 19 years old, 160 pounds soaking wet, 5'6", and he's looking to get his first bike. He's never been on a bike before. And what does he want? A Hayabusa. Apparently he wants a Hayabusa. I've obviously never met the guy, and who knows if it's legit or not. I've said some pretty crazy shit before just to get a reaction out of people. But a Hayabusa, if you don't know what that is, Google it. It's a 1300cc bike made by Suzuki. That was the fastest production motorcycle in the world up until Kawasaki took it with their ZX14. Not exactly a learner bike. You know, so obviously that's insane and it's silly. But let's rewind a bit and let's just say Supersports in general. So whether it be a 600 or, you know, if you want to go out of proportion, let's say a liter bike or something crazy like a Hayabusa or a ZX14 or, you know, why do people want these as learner bikes? To me, it would just take the fun out of learning because you have to focus so much on controlling the machine. That's clearly too much for you. It just doesn't make sense. And realistically, they don't want it because they need the power. They don't want it for any logical reasons. They want it to brag. They want it to gain respect from other experienced bikers. They want to look like they're an experienced biker as well. But the thing that these people have to realize is that motorcycling plus humility equals safety. Okay? And in that, I mean that there's nothing wrong with admitting that you're learning. There's nothing wrong with admitting that this is my learner's bike. And eventually I'm going to get my 636. And eventually you can get your Hayabusa. But if you get it now, it's not going to last. Likely. Not going to last. And if you're doing it, you know, these people who are getting Supersports to start, if they're doing it to try to gain respect of other bikers, they're going to be unpleasantly surprised when they realize that bikers don't respect that whatsoever. Not at all. That's the definition of a squid. You're riding outside of your comfort zone. You're riding outside of your knowledge base, your skill level, sorry. Bikers don't respect that. You don't need to have a liter bike to gain respect of other bikers. You just have to have two wheels. But it's these kids showing off on bikes that they can't handle that are making the rest of us look like a bunch of jackasses to Mr. Joe Public. So you're actually going to lose respect, not gain it. Dummies. Now, the first thing you need to decide when you're looking to get a bike is don't worry about what bike you're going to get. Worry about what class of bike you want. Not what class, sorry, what type of bike you want. So do you want a dual sport? Do you think you could see yourself going onto trails and off-road and being a little bit more adventurous? Do you want a sport bike? Can you see yourself looking like a sexy mofo like me? Do you want a cruiser? Right? Figure out the style of bike you want first, and then you can worry about the basics. Because there's lots. I mean, it doesn't have to be a 250 or a 300. It can be. They're wise choices usually, but you know, like I said in a previous video, Honda's got their 500s. There's 650s, there's 400s, there's tons of different options. You just got to figure out what kind of bike you want first and go from there. But if you've got if I had a friend who was looking to get a Supersport, again, I'm not even gonna touch the topic of Hayabusas as the first bike because I think the people who legitimately want to do that are few and far between. But for people who want Supersports as their first bike, if they were my friend, I would slap them silly. Oh yeah, I would slap the sense right into them. And there's nothing wrong. There's no shame in a man slapping another man. No. It's got to be the right type of slap, though. You gotta It's got to be a man slap. Yeah, not a bitch slap, a man slap. And I know you're thinking, like, what's the difference? Define a man slap? I will, don't worry, I'll get there. Calm down. Man slap, you know, you got to kind of look them right in the eyes. You got to stare them down. You got to be in your Power Ranger outfit like I am right now. You stare them down, you stare them in the eyes, you know. Let them see your hand. It's in slapping position. Maintain slapping position. You know? Turn off your high beams. And then when you actually do the slap, you gotta kind of like step into it, like boom, right? It's hard for me to step because I'm sitting, you know, but kind of like, you wanna like, I don't know how to describe it aside from step into it. You like slam your front foot down, lean into it, put your body weight into it, and man slap that son of a bitch. That's what you gotta do. Let me know how your man slap goes. Try it out. Test it out on your significant others. Don't do that. Don't hold me accountable. This is a joke. Domestic violence is not good. It's almost as bad as buying Supersports for your first bike. Maybe even a little worse. Anyway, guys, there's tons of different bikes you can get. Have a look around, and I'm gonna tell you something. I'm still relatively new to this motovlogging thing. I'm still relatively new to YouTube. I'm having a blast, and I very, very much like the engagement and feedback from the viewers and the subscribers. So, just so you know, right now I have about 70 subscribers, and we'll try this again. Just so you know, I appreciate every single person that clicks subscribe. I appreciate every single person that clicks like, and every single person that leaves a comment. Every time I get a subscriber, I still get that warm and fuzzy feeling, because my iPhone goes off every time. I'm at work and my iPhone's going off like, yes, I got another sub. It makes me feel good. Thank you. And to return the favor, if you're a subscriber, I will talk about whatever you want me to talk about. All you have to do is leave a comment. It can either be a comment on one of my videos, or it could be a comment on my actual channel. I'll talk about it. I'll give you my opinion. If you want to talk about something absolutely crazy, let's talk. It can't be more crazy than someone wanting a Hayabusa as their first bike anyway. So let's do it. Let's have some fun. I obviously want to, I want to grow this channel as much as possible. So your input, your advice, your feedback is all it's gonna do nothing but help me out. So thank you, and I look forward to hearing from you. I know that I currently have to do a review of my equipment, my gear. And I just literally haven't had time, because that's a video I have to do when I'm not riding home from the gym. So I will get that done. I will get done as much as I can. If you leave the comment, need the topics, appreciate the support. Thank you. And we'll chat soon. See you later, guys.